Anyway, it's time to spectate the match.
The game is finally underway.
The match between STB and Wild Spirit. This is going to be the first 1-versus-1 duel. First out of 4, actually. It might be 5 1-versus-1 duels if we have, well, if it's a draw. If it's, if each team wins the same amount of duels here. Obviously, having 4 duels means that it could be a 2-2 draw. And we have Citizen flying out for Wild Spirit versus Yippee-ki-yay! Wait, no, Yippee-ki-yay! Flying out for STB.
And they are flying the most popular plane of the tournament, the BF-109 F4.
Yeah, I actually think it is the most popular right now. It must. I think it overtook the Yak.
Yes, that and the Yak are the only 2 planes that are ever flown in the tournament.
It almost feels like that.
It does.
It is realistic battles, guys. So these guys are not like yesterday locked into cockpit view. These guys have the luxury of having pretty much the same camera angle as we are having. 2-versus-2 duelist on him. Let's see what the title is here. Gladiators 4-versus-4 is the Yippee-ki-yay title. I think STB actually won the realistic tournament of gladiators at the end of last year here. They're actually the champions of the Western tournament in realistic battles. So being in the loser bracket is obviously, I guess, putting some pressure on them.
Well, I mean, from what I've heard, the Eastern teams are very, 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 very good teams.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. The Gladiators tournament has a history. I think it's originated as a entirely Russian its entire organization might still be Russian, but it definitely has a long history of aviation tournaments in Russia. Like it's a Russian community to begin with, which with War Thunder, I think for the first time ever actually branched out of being purely there for the Russian community. So yeah, actually, if you look at the competitive aviation scene, Russians are overall expected to be the best teams or have the best amount, overall having a very, very high skill level, performing very, very well. And I think if you do look at the tournament, at the playoff tree right now, you'll see that I think left in the winner brackets is a majority of Eastern teams. Perhaps in the aviation competitive gameplay, the Russians are like the South Koreans in RTS games. And there we go. Citizen.
Please don't ram him.
Nah, he was just taking a peek.
I'm not gonna lie. Had he rammed him, I would have laughed.
Of course you would have. I would have too. Like everybody would have left. Actually, this is interesting. Will that still count as a kill?
Oh no!
A draw?
He got that is greed. That is. He was so cocky.
Was that necessary? I mean,
I'm gonna go with that's a draw. I'm not even kidding. That has never happened. Ever. I don't know what to say.
I'm just quiet here waiting for the arbiter to like I want to know how, like, I'm expecting him to rule the BS getting the point. Nope.
It's a draw.
He knows the rules. I am not the only one who knows the rules. Yes. Like, I don't know why I'm happy, but that was so greedy. Like, Oh,
he was trying to show off, and he was like, "Look at me, I've won. Look how close I can get." Oh, there's ground. He didn't even use flaps. He didn't even use flaps. Had he used flaps, he would have pulled out that, and we would have been sat there like, you know what? He's pretty close to the ground, but he used flaps. Instead, he didn't use flaps, and he hit the ground. No, he looked silly. Wow.
The mistakes, like that should not even happen on this level. Like
this is why you don't fly the BF-109. It just does not pull up. It just looks at the ground and goes, "That's pretty."
To explain what happened to those of you who do not know the rules, which both me and Adam do very well, and the arbiter here, aka the judge, the ruler, like the person making sure they follow the rules and all that good stuff. If you kill someone in the tournament, like he just killed a guy, right? Like he shot him down. You have to stay afloat, or like being
in the air.
Afloat. You have to continue flying and not crash or die yourself within 15 seconds. Because the reason for that is because if you like damage each other very badly and one of you crashes, then you still gotta control your plane and keep it in the air for another 15 seconds to consider being the winner. And he crashed within like 5 seconds of the kill, and by just playing carelessly. All right, Leo bit for STB is flying out versus D'Artagnan. So unless anything like that happens again, the duels cannot end up in a draw this time. Because it's the first one is a 0-0.
Drageth, I know where that quote comes from.
I have no idea, honestly. Well, that was well, STB did lose the first duel, but luckily the Wild Spirit player was careless and kind of gave STB the chance there to. I mean, they pretty much gave them half a point. Like,
I would say that they lost the point rather than giving like. I feel like that was such a mistake.
Had lost it anyway,
right?
But Wild Spirit just they
yeah.
lost
So it sounds
yeah.
worse that they lost it because he did make such an absolute. I can't even put it into words. Just such a. He fumbled. It's like when you're playing D&D and you roll a 1 and you just fall down the stairs.
He entirely fumbled.
He fumbled.
But he did it on, like, it was all based on his decisions. Like there's no way he can go like, oh well, if this would have been a Spitfire, like I mean, he knew which plane we were flying. Like
we saw yesterday with the no flaps, he decided that the no flaps was a good idea, then decided that the no flaps was a bad idea.
And looking at this though, Leobit is the one on the tail. Wondering if he's gonna start using some flaps here.
He's not using any flaps. He needs to use those landing flaps.
But no one is though. Nobody is. Oh wait, I think I heard flap sounds on. Yeah, flaps is being used on D'Artagnan.
And we'll see that he has much better control of his aircraft coming out of that stool.
Yeah, look at this though. Yeah, look at that.
Look at that control.
Like they just swapped places. They just swapped places.
And now, thanks to the fact that he has got his landing flaps out, he doesn't even need to worry about overshooting.
No. He can just like do. This is like a parachute almost at this point. There you go. I really thought Leobit was like, I was gonna say earlier, like 10-20 seconds ago, that Leobit is getting on the tail of D'Artagnan. D'Artagnan started using his flaps, and I mean, he didn't really go straight up either. He just stayed afloat a little bit, you could say. Like he did not really drop down as badly as Leobit did, and then using the flaps just to kind of. Yeah, get that extra lift and maneuver. He showed us again why the flaps matters.
Now we've got to see his dart crash his plane or something. Because that would...
Look at him, he's not even doing it. He's like, I'm not going to make the same mistake. I'm just going to fly straight.
I'm going to fly absolute
I'm not even going to turn. Not even gonna put on acrobatic smoke, because that might make me crash. Like,
I mean, you've got to say, aerobatic smoke is what on the L key. He might accidentally press the I key, and then his engines will turn off, and then. So I mean, it's pretty reasonable.
And it's just like a key away from J as well. Like all the things that could go wrong.
All of them. Why is my aerobatic smoke not turning on? I'm holding down the... Oh.
Why is the landing gear racing? Why is my pilot in a parachute? I don't get it.
What a
at least we're
draw.
having
I don't
fun.
get it.
Oh.
My plane was still in the air. Kind of.
Oh. All right. So the well, STB got a little bit saved in the first duel. In the second duel, outsmarted by Flaps, and the pilot, and that means that Wild Spirit is up one duel. So there's 2 more duels to go. STB needs to win both to take the point. They definitely need to win this one to even. If they actually lose this one, there's no way for them to get a point, unless there's a draw in the last one. Jerdnus versus Preston. Anti-aircraft title on Jerdnus. No title on Preston. And it's a head-on. Because
that can only end well.
there we go.
Here we go. Here comes another head-on. I predict it.
And done. Well, not really. We'll see. There's not much damage other than to the engine here, which is leaking oil for Preston. He's coming around. He's not getting anywhere close to Jerdnus at that point. Jerdnus is coming down now to make a crossover Preston, I think. Preston avoids that pretty well.
Preston's engine is dead.
Oh, yeah, it is. Now, all you need to do, Jerdnus, is not do that.
Yeah, Jerdnus could, honestly, if you wanted to, just leave him. Just leave him.
Like really, just, you know.
Don't make any kind of mistake. Don't go anywhere near him because you might ram him or he might get a shot on you.
He's going for the kill now though, because now he's stalled out too. So at this point, there's not much risk. But you know, watch the debris. Get out. Get out. And that should be it. All right, STB, unless he crashes, is getting the point for this duel, which means there's going to be 1-1 in duels. There's going to be one more duel, which pretty much, again, unless any weird ass mistake, will decide who actually is the winner.
I gotta say, Simulator is a completely different ballgame, but it is so weird just how much faster realistic games are compared to simulator games.
How much faster? Did you say that?
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
Simulator games can go on for upwards of 30+ minutes.
The difference in sitting in a cockpit and compared to having third-person view, it's monstrous. Like it's just such a day and night difference in how the game plays. And well, let's not even begin talking about the controls.
No, I mean some of them use mouse and keyboard.
Oh yeah. But I mean, the controls is still different. Like realistic battles, you know, is still more towards the point and click than simulator, where you might want to trim your engine, all that stuff. There's just a lot more settings that you can do and play with or have control over in simulator. I want you. Then what you do by default in realistic, though. Let me say that. Then what do you do by default? Alright, we have Theodrin for STB up versus Iliavator for Wild Spirit. Whoever wins this round wins the first point for their team. Pass has happened.
And now we watch the dance of death and wait for the first person to use flaps.
Well, Theodrin already started using them. I heard the sounds and
Rams.
Oh wow!
So what was that about a draw?
Yeah.
Rams.
Well, I mean, obviously this. No, it's not about the Rams. It's just the fact that I was like, well, you know, whoever wins says, well, I guess it could be a draw if anybody makes any, mistakes and crashes. Like that would never happen. And yeah, obviously that happens. So we're gonna go into a fifth 1-versus-1 duel to see who actually wins. Which I guess if this happens again, then we're gonna keep doing 1-versus-1 duels until the end of time.
So you know what? I've never seen 2 draws in one game. That is. Like I've also never seen somebody kill somebody and then.
You mean like in one series of games? You mean like a series of 1-versus-1 duels? Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen anyone kill a guy to crash within 15 seconds.
No, I've never seen that either.
With a perfectly working airplane.
Hi, Burrican.
So it is a 1-1 in the first round. Additional 1-versus-1 has to be played to actually really decide who wins. But again, if they both crashes like they just did, well, we're gonna keep doing this for a while.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, potentially we could be here all night watching watching BF109s ram into each other.
Hey, this new mode of War Thunder here is great. It's called Destruction Derby. I mean, that would be cool though as a special event, wouldn't it? Like they have all these, special events. They have I think they just brought back. I haven't played any today. I think they just, but I read it. But I think they just brought back the very, very popular special event where like no markers and stuff, like the mix with between realistic and simulator, which which was amazing fun. I'm really gonna play that. But wouldn't it be fun if they had a special event where you only got points for crashing into others? Like that would have been hilarious. Can't wait for that. Gaijin, if you're listening, that is my suggestion. Let's have that for a whole week. Destruction Derby game mode.
What if
bring whatever? Just even make it so you can't even fire any cannons. Like no weapons works. Only thing you can do is ram and crash into others. There we go. That's the game mode we need. And we're waiting for them to spawn. Restart? Oh! For the first time in the Super Cup, I see us Arbiter calling for restart and not the player.
So funny.
That was funny. But yeah, there's a restart. So guys, we're gonna restart the this 1v1 duel. How do we?
I have not a clue. I think the game will just end.
Like, what if I return to hangar? Will I return to the?
No. Don't click a button. Just wait. The game will end itself.
He said restart before anybody spawned? I don't think it's gonna end. If nobody actually.
Well, Dart should then spawn and just jump out. That's what should happen.
Here's me asking.
I think if you leave, you leave.
But this is the first time ever there's been a restart call before anyone spawns. Are we stuck in limbo?
There we go. See, I told you the mission would end.
Well, how long? I mean, I didn't know. Now forever will my question never be answered. Do we just exit? Oh well. And I'm ready again.
I'm 95% sure that if you leave, if you try and return to hangar.
There's only one guy ready though. 2-min technical break. Woo! Party in the house. Party in the house.
So there's a lot of breaks in this.
Dude, the breaks is definitely working.
Some games there are no breaks and we get in, we get out, and it's like, 30-minute games. This game is gonna. My car broke down and I had to go get it fixed today.
Really?
Yep.
There were no breaks.
There were no breaks. Funnily enough.
Well, I'm reading Twitch chat. They're talking about graphic cards. That's definitely on topic. What's up, guys?
You guys have any questions about the Super Cup? Now is the best time to answer. Usually we don't get a chance to answer questions.
Carbon breaks. Don't overheat so easily. Yeah, guys. Like Adam said, any questions? Just shoot. Shoot! If you have any questions about the Super Cup. Or any other questions about... let's at least keep it on War Thunder. If you have any questions about us...
Don't ask any questions about when patches will come out.
Oh yeah, we do not know when patches come out.
I don't know when cockpits are going to be implemented into bombers.
We don't know until they're actually out.
Yeah, we don't know until you guys know.
Yeah, even before people like, when do we get naval?
When do we get cockpit bombers?
Wait, what cockpit bombers? Bombers who drop cockpits?
You know what I mean. Cockpits for bombers. You know what I mean.
When do we get cockpit bombers?
So how did we meet? Lol. No, we're not sitting next to each other. You know what I meant. Cockpits for bombers. You know what I meant.
Well, we're in the next duel. The technical break is over. Let's. When is the final?
That is a question we can answer.
the realistic battle. Realistic battle final for the winner brackets is this Saturday. The grand final, I think, is the next weekend after this. But I'm not exactly sure about the grand final yet.
Yeah, so the RB
as the
winners bracket final is Saturday. There we go. So the final of the final
D'Artagnan versus
1v1 duel.
Alright. Yes, this is Esport War Thunder. Yes, that's exactly what it is. This is actually the top 8 teams. In short, yes. This is Esport. This is a tournament. Oh, the grand finals is definitely gonna be streamed. Do not fret. There's no chance they're even letting me do anything but cover those things, I think. Well, real life comes first, but we've gone out of our ways to make sure that we can stream the grand finals for you guys. And we're turning.
Somebody needs to put flaps out.
No flaps on D'Artagnan and no flaps on Jerdnus, so at least they're turning equally as much. Whoever uses flaps first might actually win. In before flaps wins the match.
In before one of them decides that doing a loop would be a good idea, stalls out, and then the other guy shoots him down. That would be a bad time. For the person who tried to do the loop.
Well, I feel Jonas has the advantage of being just slightly above D'Artagnan, but I mean, as they're turning this like this, it doesn't matter much. At this point, they both have the speed.
Are they slowly spiraling towards the ground?
Yes, that I mean, that actually happens automatically if you just turn like this. Even if you're not even like purposely like spiraling down, like you know, putting the nose a little bit down, you're actually gonna be slowly stalling towards the ground. So yes, pretty much if they would have had smoke on, this would have been a very beautiful scene. If they could have different smoke each, like the acrobatic smoke, this would be a very nice looking spiral right now.
Again, this is why you shouldn't take the BF-109. I mean, look at the size of that turn circle.
Oh yeah.
It's absolutely massive.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's bigger than the city I live in.
Pretty big city.
Oh yeah, it's a huge city. It's one of the bigger ones here. They're now below the mountain line. So I guess whoever hits the ground first loses then. So that's the thing though, like they can continue to do this for a while, but eventually something's gonna have to happen.
Something's got to give.
Yeah, that's actually gonna be interesting. So we'll see here what's like. I don't know.
So here comes the loop.
Yeah, somebody had
no
to
stall.
do it.
Oh, wait for it! Is the stall? Is the stall here?
Oh,
I feel like
this is not very good. Uh-oh.
I feel like
the
Jerdnus.
flaps, he's using flaps. D'Artagnan is using flaps.
Jerdnus is not.
Uh-oh.
I feel like if Jerdnus had just got a few
good,
shots
though.
on.
Should have used his flaps.
Like,
He should
just-
have used flaps.
Like, all he needed was like a few
now he's
20s
using
to
them,
hit.
but now he's like super too late. I heard it, but I don't see them. Hear him like flip. How about you actually use them and leave them on, you fool? And
The overshoot is real. But I don't think Dart has got the momentum to turn onto his tail.
yeah, and he's not using the flaps anymore. Well, I can hear the clicking again, but oh, that's a tree.
I mean, obviously that is the trouble with using flaps, is that you lose a lot of speed. You lose a lot of speed and momentum.
Oh boy. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Like, see, he's gotta like. Here's the. Well, you know, at least for this tournament, this map makes the train comes into play a lot, especially in the realistic battles, but even so in both realistic and simulator. But yeah, as we can see, they cannot like freely fly as they just will because there's mountains to be hit. So they actually have to do a little bit of wiggling and maneuvering to avoid the train as well.
I mean,
and
we did
back
see
to this freaking circle thing.
I mean, we did see in a simulator battle, one dude trying to dodge the terrain, trying to use the mountains, got really close, trying to be all ninja-y, trying to, get break line of sight with his enemy, and then clipped his right wing on the mountain.
Oh yeah. I really was hoping he would succeed though, because that was such a cool thing. I really like seeing that. But he did clip the mountain with the wing and like, so that happened. But it was still like a pretty smart thing to do, I think. And yeah, How's the weather, man?
It's pretty nice here.
Because here it's clear weathers and two planes fucking circling around and around and around.
Again, all it takes is for somebody to turn flaps on. They're not even using flaps, guys. Please.
I mean, as much as we're super happy to have SciTech and Rocket On for sponsors for the tournament, and we really want them to continue to sponsor future tournaments. I feel flaps should be sponsoring this tournament. It would be like, you're watching Gladiators Super Cup, brought to you by Flaps. Use them wisely.
Please use them.
Please, use them. Do like every pro and winner of the tournament.
I do understand. You know, on a serious note, that this is a tied series. Neither of them obviously want to lose a point. So they're gonna this is, let's be honest, this is what happens in simulator all like the simulator gladiator stuff all the time. They start getting in this massive circle, and neither one of them wants to be the first one to react. Because the first one to react, I mean, you saw it with Dart. I mean, he obviously went into a loop, and Jardinus was just unlucky that he couldn't get any hits off. But just look at what happened. I mean, he almost got killed. So he obviously doesn't want to take a risk. He doesn't want to do something different. I mean, right now, neither of them are getting close to each other. So, I mean, if I would probably be doing the same thing. I don't want to be shot at. I don't want to take a risk.
It looks like D'Artagnan is actually getting...
he's actually catching up.
What is Jernus doing? What is Jernus... like, how is... wait, did somebody use flaps?
I think Dart is actually using flaps.
Well, somebody has to. Uh-oh. Did it overtake Jernus now? He's trying to hammerhead. Jernus doesn't have a freaking flight to even stay up. He's using the flaps now. This is... here you go! Look at this! Look at D'Artagnan. He's doing exactly what there you go. Like...
Flaps wins games.
Flaps wins games. I was gonna say, how much fuel did they bring?
Again, seriously, you don't want to bring more fuel. Like,
yeah,
like
well,
even...
they have the same amount of fuel, both of them. They have
No, I know.
fuel that the tournament set as the rules.
But even
So,
if the rule
yeah,
wasn't there, let's imagine the rule doesn't exist, right? Let's say they
you
could
would still bring the least amount of fuel.
Of course you would. Like, you don't need to be, you know, like, it might be the slightest advantage. But you don't want to give your opponent any kind of advantage. And what does it mean? Like, what difference does it make if you bring 30 minutes or 2 hours worth of fuel? What, you really think you're going to be able to lengthen the game to 2 hours? I don't think so. Like, half an hour is the longest we've had for any round. I don't think you could manage to get 2 hours. Because, I mean, you also have a much larger increase of chance of being set on fire. There's so much more fuel in the tank. I mean, it's just, it's like when you load too many shells onto your tank, you know? When you're playing ground forces, the more shells you have, the more likely they are to explode.
Yeah, well, I obviously have to agree. Like, I cannot play the devil's advocate when I definitely agree with you. All right, so Wild Spirits take the first round of 1 versus 1s. That gives them 1 point. The next one is going to be 2 versus 2, worth 2 points. There's going to be 2 versus 2 duels, a third one if we need to, and we're getting into the first 2 versus 2 right now.
No, it's got to wait for everybody to spawn in. So more waiting.
Well, we have Jerdnus and Yippee-Ki-Yay for STB flying out versus Preston and Citizen on Wild Spirits.
I gotta say, I like the 2v2s a little more than the 4v4s. While the 4v4s get really like hectic and you have 8 guys flying around doing crazy things, you can't see everything that happens. Like,
No,
you just don't have enough eyes.
Yeah, 2 versus 2 does give you a little bit. It's easier for us to spectate almost. All right.
You know, I have just noticed.
Yeah, they did not take a split.
No, they've stayed really close together.
I know. I just had a pig fly by my window here.
It's almost like they want to stay close to each other so they can help each other out.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Well, Jurnus is on Preston here, and if he connects with anything... Oh! He did. Oh, yeah, he did.
Citizen on Jednus.
Yeah.
And he has critted him too.
Jurnus broke off Preston too. He could have just, you know, used the flaps and stayed on him there. Jurnus is critted. It's the elevators. I think he's lost elevator control. Preston
looks like he's okay.
It's also the elevators.
But
so
it looks like
it's wrong.
No, but he's got slight control because he's turning. Whereas...
Yeah, but Jurnus is turning too.
No, I don't think I think he's diving towards the ground.
Nope.
Well, at any rate, it's Citizen versus
is now
GPKA.
diving, and he has Zitzen on the tail of him. So, here's what I would have done, probably, would have been with GPKA, because he was going towards Preston, would have been like, just see, I mean, if I had a chance to try and get him, deal with him, I guess.
I'm actually going to disagree with you. Knowing that your teammate has critted a plane, and knowing how long it took for him to turn around, I would feel like he's no combat threat. But that was a very nice shot. Very nice kill.
And now GPKA is gone, and it's going to be Jurnus
with that
all
really
lonesome, yeah.
That really combat effective, perfectly conditioned plane.
Those elevators are important. Like, they're just so important. Especially in this plane, it doesn't turn very well to begin with. now it's like crap.
Yeah, how am I going to use this? You could try and ram them both at the same time. Citizen with his broken plane trying to come kill him. Oh no, Citizen's got the OK plane. Preston's
I mean, without the elevators, the BF-109, and you know, it's like a one-legged man in a sprint.
But look at those flap. Look at that flap action though.
Oh well, now he's using them.
I mean, he's just like, I ain't go down without a fight.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, Citizen could even afford the ram here, to be honest. He had a great chance there to actually just go in, like, really.
It wouldn't surprise me if Preston was going to give it a go. Because here he comes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Basically.
I would obviously use my guns first, you know. And,
oh yeah, as you were
Jurnus
swooping
is
in.
turning, and Preston is like, ah!
And then he flies off again.
But Citizen is coming here to seal the deal, and he just did. Bam! So the first 2 versus 2 duel goes to, well, Spirit, and we'll have a second one.
Captured a zone. Victory is ours. Let's go home.
As we wait for everybody to ready up for the second 2v2. If Wild Spirit can win this, then they'll take 2 points, which will give them a 3-0 lead over STB. If STB win, they'll tie up the 2v2, and there'll be a third or an additional 2v2. The reason they are using the reason they are using the BF-109 is essentially there is a list of 9 planes, and the team captains will veto 8 of the planes and be left with 1, and that was the plane that they'll use. Alright, so everybody's ready up. Just waiting for the arbiter to start the game.
We're waiting for Shaxi to get back in the game. Who was that for? I think that is.
That
I don't know.
Shaxi is the maker of the game.
Huh!
I think he's disconnected.
Oh, okay. But the game is still up though.
Yeah. I don't know how he's going to get back into a game that he created. I don't know how that works. And normally what happens if the creator leaves the game, you normally have to make a new game. So we're probably going to have to make a new lobby.
We'll see what happens. We might have transferred the hosting to someone else actually. And I don't think it matters that much anyway, because I think isn't the custom battle service hosted on a dedicated server though? Like you select which one you're gonna play the matches on anyway. It's just who sets it up.
Right. But if that person,
well.
like the person who made it, has left, like they are no longer in the game. So
Yeah.
And I
But we're
understand
still
that.
in it, so I don't think it's a
No,
problem.
right. But I don't know who now has control over it.
Doesn't matter. There's no need for any control since everything is already set up. But that's what we're waiting for. This series of games have had quite a few breaks. You're waiting, which is an unfortunate thing, but it happens. It is live. There's no editing going on here, guys. You're watching this live as it happens. The matches has not been played beforehand, so we obviously gotta, these things happen.
It's just the nature
I remember,
of the beast.
was it on? When was that? Wasn't it like almost an entire MLG event in the United States that were kind of what do you call it? Like there was a thunderstorm that kind of just pretty much killed the entire. Like they're like, yeah, we're gonna broadcast this to the world, except that the local weather doesn't allow us to broadcast this to anywhere. Like internet went down, they couldn't play because of it and stuff like that. Oh, I think you're right. New lobby. Alrighty.
Adam is always right.
Nah, not always, but sometimes.
How do I leave?
Escape.
Oh, there we go. I had to unready.
Mhm.
I was ready.
And now I'll just wait for you to find the new lobby and then invite me. Actually, I might actually find it myself.
Well, I don't know if it'll be the same name and password, but we'll see.
Well, there is a new
It has been made
game
by Zebra.
Shaxi, so...
No,
Oh,
been made by Zebra. There it
I
is.
think I found it. Was it same password? Yep.
Yep.
Alright. I'm in it already. Wait. Yeah, there you go. Alright. Everybody's joining up in a new game so we can play the second 2 versus 2 duel and see who gets the 2 points.
Apologies for the delay, guys, but as Scream said, this is live, and, these things can happen. It's unfortunate and unlucky, but, what can you do?
Yeah, there's not much you can do. I mean, as I said, these things do happen. It's one of those unfortunate things. The host of the match of the lobby that they're playing these games in disconnected. Might have been an unforeseen outage or whatever. So the other arbiter picked up the stick, or did pick up it but he obviously had to recreate the lobby. So I guess, like you say, because someone actually has to. I realized once you said that, or now that someone actually has to click, start game and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I don't know what would have happened if I don't even know how you would have been able to have rejoined. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
even
yeah.
even if we didn't create a new lobby. I'm not sure how it works. You know, I haven't tested this, so I don't know. But if somebody, you know, like the host, if Zebra was to leave and then rejoin the game he made, I don't know if it would give him control back. But I don't also think that it just hands another person control. Normally, you just leave.
Exactly.
It looks like everybody is ready to go.
I gotta agree with a guy in Twitch chat who's hoping for the P-36G match. That could, I mean, that airplane to be used. I would love to see that. But in the Super Cup, I mean, it is the top 8 teams from West and East. You know, I think like most of these teams already have figured out which airplanes they do not want to fly ever. And that is why we're seeing the same airplanes over and over again, because out of the airplane pool, you know, the teams, when they're vetoing and removing groups and airplanes which they do not want to fly, I think they're thinking a little bit almost alike. They're all like, yeah, they're all agreeing which airplanes they do not want to fly, and we end up getting, you know, similar like two airplanes that we see a lot, which has been the Yak and the BF-109. Alright, it is Ilya, Vader, and D'Artagnan up for Wild Spirit, flying versus Leobit and Theodrin for STB. And if Wild Spirit wins this 2 versus 2 duel, then they take 2 points. If STB wins, then they will have to fly another 2 versus 2 to see who wins it.
Again, both guys staying quite close to each other.
Yep. Ilya and D'Artagnan flying out towards, well, I was gonna say the left, but just sticking kind of close together. D'Artagnan going a little bit down to go up and get some energy. He's going for Theodrin right now, and he can actually finish him off already, and he just did. That was such a secure kill. And it looks very bad for Theobit, who okay, it looked like he got critted, but he didn't. The other one was set on fire. But yeah, Leobit is in a bad spot. Ilya is getting on the tail of him, and bam, done, killed.
Pilot sniped.
And fire on top of that.
The aerobatic smoke coming out for Vader.
Yeah.
Now that was a quick game.
2 points for Wild Spirits. This is the loser bracket, so STB has to come back together here in the 4 versus 4, which is worth 3 points. They have to win the 4 versus 4 duel. That is their only chance now to extend this series into a deciding round for them to move on in the tournament. If Wild Spirits wins the 4 versus 4, then this is the end for STB in the Super Cup.
And I gotta say, that game, Wild Spirit did look very confident. Much more so than in the other.
Where they wanted to get.
Right. Much more so than the 1v1 or the 2v2, the other 2v2, which was rather slow. But this was bam bam, quick kills. They knew what they wanted, and it was nice and easy.
We'll see if we have another break then.
So Wild Spirit are leading 3-0, aren't they?
Yep. 30 seconds to start. I even missed the official ruling here then. Or maybe there wasn't.
Yeah, maybe he didn't type it. Maybe he's like, we're behind schedule, no time for typing.
I think this is the last match of the night, though.
This is, but you know how people are with their schedules.
Hey, they have no way. Like, he has nowhere to be. The arbiter obviously is gonna sit there until tomorrow's match.
Yeah, it's gonna be sat in the water, the TeamSpeak, eagerly awaiting.
He's gonna be like, he's gonna have his servants coming to him with food and all the basic needs.
Oh, that's
Alright.
Oberlich, because Oberlich is the chief arbiter. He gets all the other arbiters to bring him food.
Oh, okay.
How that works.
Master Arbiter. Hmm. All right. 5-second start. Yeah. The only thing for the only way here, guys, for us to see another match after this 4 versus 4 is for STB to win this one. If they do not, then Wild Spirit is the winner of this series, and they move on in the loser. Yeah, the winner of this series actually didn't move on to face SNJ, actually. SNJ is waiting for whoever wins this to face them in the next round of the loser bracket. I think that match might be tomorrow, but yeah, it's not being covered. I had to like look at my phone to see the date, what date were it. But it's tomorrow's. There's no match being covered by English commentary. I don't think there's even Russian commentary tomorrow.
Yeah, it's Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, D'Artagnan critically damaged, Leo bit critically damaged.
This is what happens in 4v4s.
Critically damaged.
It's so hard.
Journa's shot down, Leobit shot down. It's now a 4 versus 2. STB is falling apart.
Yippee-ki-yay and Verdum. How do you say his name? How would you say his name?
Theodrin.
Theodrin, thank you. For some reason I wanted to say Thirdamite.
I heard Ferdinand almost. D'Artagnan shot down by Journas though.
So now it's a 4-on-3. Sorry, a 3-on-2.
1.
Wait. Oh, it's changed colours. Because I've changed spectator, it's changed colours. So I thought that they,
Theodrin is the last one alive, and they're, yeah. And that's how Wild Spirit moves on to the next round of the loser bracket, where they will face off SNJ tomorrow.
4 versus 4s. Chaos everywhere. Especially in RB. Like in Simulator, they normally go quite smoothly. Like you normally see guys starting to form up in 2v2 pairs, and they start booming and zooming, and they start. But in 4 versus 4s
I
in
think
RB,
we're
it
getting
just
too
goes.
used to simulator battles, dude. I think simulator battles are way more gracious because they're just that much more slow paced.
People take their time. In a good way.
Because
like,
it's
like
because it's not easy. Like it's,
No.
it's just because it's like they're actually like, let me look out of the cockpit window and try to see my enemy. Oh, there's a dot over there. I think that's him.
Nope, that's a teammate. After looking.
No, that's a team. GG. Guys, well,
So, just to confirm the final scores: STB 0, Wild Spirit 6.
that is the final score.
As you said, Wild Spirit will be moving on to face, who was it? S&J.
I'm actually scrolling up on the page here to go into the realistic battle page right now. Let's see. Bracket final. Yes, Wild Spirit moves on to face S&J in the round 3 of the loser bracket. I'm gonna look at our other schedule here. Tomorrow it's gonna be 303 Poland versus Aces. It's being edited right now in front of my eyes, actually. S&J is gonna face Wild Spirit. Actually, the 303 Poland. I'm reading it because they put Poland there, but 303 versus Aces is actually going to be covered by the Russian stream tomorrow. So there's going to be one stream tomorrow. It's going to be in Russian. S&J versus Wild Spirit, CSM versus AD, PFT versus Black Team. The first 2 matches here, 3 is actually realistic battles. The second 2 games is simulated battles, all of which is loser bracket matches tomorrow. Then on Saturday we have the 2 semifinals in the simulator winner brackets. We have more loser bracket matches, but we also have the final in the winner bracket of realistic battles, which we will be covering. We'll be covering MBSI versus LK and Sky Veterans versus White Rhinoceros. I'm not sure about the third game because they are played at the same time. So that's about that.
You will just have to wait and see. Got any more to say, Scream?
Well, as always, thank you to Rocket and Cytec for sponsoring the tournament. Thank you all for watching. Please follow War Thunder here on Twitch. Do not miss any future coverage, gameplay, tournaments, and overall, obviously in the future there's going to be streams about, you know, in-game content and stuff like that. So, you know, make sure to follow this channel if you ever want to see anything more here on Twitch. I'm Scream112, with me is Average Adam. You can find us over on twitch.tv/Metagamingtv. And by the way, let me drop this link for you guys. The playlist. We are uploading these VODs within about 24 hours after they happen to YouTube, to the Metagaming TV channel. So all the matches that has been covered by me and Adam, you can watch at your own leisure over on the link I posted there in Twitch chat. So yeah, good night and thank you all for watching. Thank you, Adam. And
Good night, guys.
yeah, bye-bye.